you gotta low-key be exactly where you want to be right now. You gotta realize that you're living your dream reality right now and not later. The more you kind of delay that to later, the worse it becomes. Why? Because you're delaying something that you can internally feel right now. And the only way to get it externally is to internally feel it right now. So I know that your mind is probably like thinking, "Oh, I want this, I want that," like, or you want like an outcome. But the only way to get that outcome is to internally have it, because what you want from that outcome isn't the actual like physical thing. You want an experience. You want feelings. And the only way to get those feelings is to ask yourself, what would I feel if my desired reality actually came to existence? So let's say you want X amount of money, or you want that girl, or you want whatever it is. What would you feel when that outcome comes to existence? What would you feel? So when I've done this for myself, I realized I would feel very relaxed. Like if I would have like the money that I want, and I would have basically what I desire, which is like, yeah, it's my internal is $100,000 per month. And when I internally have that, I've neutralized it. So I don't put it on a pedestal. I realize that I already have it. The experience that I get within myself is then very relaxed. Like I'm relaxed because I don't have any troubles. I have more money than I can spend. And I realize that this is the way that I'm actually going to get there, to be in that state. So you realize when you're not in, like, if I wouldn't be relaxed, if I would just be tense, or I would just kind of like be the opposite, then I'm not in the same reality that this experience actually lives in. So getting that $100,000 per month or whatever it is that you want is a matter of you existing in the reality where that is a truth, where that is a fact. And the way to do that is to go from the end. Start from the end. And the end is the feeling, the internal feeling you get from when that actually manifests into reality. And that end is like looks different for everybody. For me, it's like I'm very relaxed. Like I'm good, man. Like I'm good. And the interesting thing is, the paradox in that is like, if I wouldn't be good, it would just mean that I am putting my emotional dependency on the external world. And that's the problem. You can't be emotionally dependent on the external world, because if you are, then you're not in the reality where that thing you want exists. Because the only reality where that thing you want exists is a reality where you don't need that thing. It's a paradox, I know. But the only way to not need it is to neutralize it and realize that it's not that cool. It's not that interesting. It's not anything special. And the only way to truly feel that feeling is to have the feeling, because when you have the internal feeling, you won't feel that it's anything special, because you have the feeling of it. And when you have the feeling of it, it just kind of like neutralizes. It makes it just like, oh, well, whatever. And that's what you have to feel in order to get it. That puts you in resonance into getting that thing. And it puts you in resonance to do the right actions to get to that thing. Because you can't focus on actions without actually being in resonance with actions. That's the difference between cause and effect. Effect is the external world is a part of the effect. Like what you see around you is a part of effect. The action is actually, you can use action in two different ways. One is using it just as an effect, focus on the effect, like just action, or you can focus on the cause that produces the effect. Feeling the feeling that you want from that thing that you want, so internally feeling what you want to feel before that thing has happened, is you focusing on the cause that's going to create the effect. The effect is the external world. So you focus on the cause will actually create an effect. And that's how it works. You have to realize that that's the only way you're going to get what you want in life, is to have it right now. You can only have what you already have. Shout out Nero. You can only have whatever you already have inside of you right now. It's the only way. You can be rationalize and be like, but I don't physically have this money, so I can't buy that. Well, no, of course not, because the external world is still part of an effect. You have to still feel the feelings that comes with you having the abundance of money still. And you have to act in the way where money is abundant. So you can't just keep all your money for yourself and be like very not like, you have to give money as well in order for money to come in. And I know, like, if you don't have a lot of money, it might be difficult, but you still have to go this way. This is the route to get it, because you can't just act in the same way that you've been acting all up until this point, because that's produced the same reality that you're in right now. Or if you're probably watching this video, you're probably like someone who wants to change. And the best way to do that is to focus on the cause, focus on actually being where you want to be, focus on realizing, focus on feeling like this is what you have right now is the dream life. That when you have that thing internally, then you realize that this is the dream life. This is where you've always wanted to be. This is where you always wanted to be. Where you do that, you're putting yourself in resonance to give, or actually to get, like to get from the universe. The universe wants to give you stuff when you actually feel that within yourself. The more you're expectant, like the more you expect stuff from the external world to give you stuff, that's when you got it all wrong. When you expect stuff from this external world, which is mostly of it is an illusion, because what we can see is just a tiny, tiny, tiny fraction of what actually exists. What you see with your eyes is a process called refraction. So what you see with your eyes is 0.0035% of what actually exists. We can only see through something called visible light. This is like physics. It's like you can't see everything that exists. So you basing everything off of what you see with your eyes is actually doesn't make sense. What you base what's within you is all makes more sense, because what's the unseen is actually more percentage, like it's 99.9999% of what actually exists. So you, depending on your internal world, is actually almost more real than the external world. And when you realize that the external world is effect, the internal world is cause. So you cause, the cause that produces the effect that you want happens from within. It happens from your internal world. And that is the only way to get what you want in life, is to start from the cause, start from the internal world. And yeah, that's it. So you should definitely subscribe. See you later.